Hi everyone, welcome to Friday Fact Day. My name is Terri, and this is my opportunity every week to tell you about the work I'm doing in fitness, feminism, and philosophy. And today's fact is social constructs. So this is a bit different for me for the Friday Fact Day in that I'm doing this one as a response to some stuff that came up from another online content creator. This person is somebody who is to the far right and is basically deliberately using academic terminology that is common in leftist or social justice circles, particularly feminism, using those terms incorrectly as a way to make it sound like we're too stupid to know what we're talking about. This is not a call-out channel. It's not the kind of video I do. But I do need to address what this person was getting at and why he was getting it wrong. So that is a very polite and somewhat sanitized explanation of what this person is doing. And of course, I'm Canadian. And as you know, we Canadians are always kind and polite. So for the next few seconds, if you're not a Canadian, please plug your ears. I will do this when it's time to unplug. Ben Shapiro is a rotten little pain in the arse. He's disingenuous, he's arguing in bad faith, and he's basically the right-wing political male equivalent of a puck bunny. And so help me Jesus Murphy, he's going to get a smack in the head pretty soon, and best case Ontario, I'm going to be the one to do it. Someday. So, okay, there you go. Thank you, non-Canadians, for playing along with me there and indulging me in that little private moment. So what am I actually talking about here? Several days ago, singer Harry Styles was on the cover of a fashion magazine wearing a dress. And of course, the Twitterverse blew up and all social media did. But of course, there were some right-wing pundits who get very upset with that kind of thing. And as he often does, Ben Shapiro weighed in on this, complaining that Harry Styles was feminizing masculinity and ruining manhood and so on and so on and so on, all his usual stuff. What's more interesting to me is at the very, very end of this thread that he posted about Harry Styles wearing a dress, he said that leftist people, in other words, people like me, feminist people on the far left on the social justice issue side of things, are contradicting ourselves because we're on the one hand saying that gender is important and then on the other hand saying gender is a social construct. Now, I don't think Ben Shapiro is stupid. I think he deliberately knows that he is misleading you and misleading his fans and his readers. So I'm here to debunk that and stop him in peddling that ignorance. I'm going to stop the agnotology before it gets out there any further. When we say gender is a social construct, we are not saying gender isn't real. It is not fake. It is not unimportant. So for him to say that gender is a social construct and it's important is a contradictory statement is bullshit. Like so much else of what he says. Social construct is a concept that comes mostly out of sociology, some other disciplines as well as psychology and things. We've used it in women's studies, or now it's called gender studies, or sometimes feminist studies, depending on what school you're in. We've used it for a very, very long time in this area of work. So when we teach something as a social construct, usually the first example we use is money. So right here, I have a Canadian $10 bill. There's Viola Davis on the front. There you go. You can see her there. This is just a piece of plasticized paper with a little hologram on it and a whole bunch of ink and some pretty pictures. A little bit of history there as well. It's just a piece of paper. Ultimately, it is just a piece of paper. But I can take this piece of paper with all its ink and holograms and its authorization from the Canadian government, and I can go spend this for goods and services, or I can put it into savings or things like that. It has real life value. It has real life power. But the piece of paper is just a piece of paper. So when we say money is socially constructed, or the gold standard, because this represents gold in the Canadian economy, when we say that, we're not saying it's fake. We're not saying it's not real. And that's what Ben Shapiro is trying to make you think we're saying when we say something is a social construct. So when somebody on the far right tells you that somebody on the far left doesn't know the meanings of the words they're using, go check those meanings. Do the heavy lifting yourself. This time I'm not talking heavy lifting with weights. I'm talking heavy lifting with some research. And, you know, maybe after several decades of using these terms, we do know what we mean when we're saying them. And if somebody's got an agenda of tearing us down, maybe you shouldn't trust what they say about us. It's not a good look. Okay? So, this was not an exercise video, but as I always say, lift heavy, lift often, fight the patriarchy, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye.